Good morning. I'm Sylvia, the crafty old lady, and it has been a long time coming, but this morning I thought I would do my junk journal July 2024 quick flip through. People seem to like my journal flip throughs better than like watching me make a journal layout. So I'm going to do a few more junk journal flip throughs, and here is my junk journal July 2024. So here was my little list of prompts, which I also printed out here because I can see this one better. So this whole book doesn't actually fit in frame, I don't think, but this number one was Spark, and I immediately thought of Smokey the Bear and forest fires. One spark can cause a forest fire. I think that's what it used to be back in the day when I was little. And I made a little match out of, it's like a collaged match. Over here it was postcard, and I used this little vintage looking postcard with mushrooms on it, and then I sort of decorated the other side. I tried to make this little piece of fabric look like a stamp, but it didn't come out that well. I used this to make it look like an address. I don't know how well that worked, but it's got writing there. I could have used the writing on this side even, but I decorated it with this. And number 3 was fold, and I created this little gusseted pocket as my folds. I don't know if you can see. You had to have a lot of folds for the gussets, and then of course you fold the whole I can't get that in there. It fit there before. It's got to fit there again. And yeah, so the whole pocket, or the whole envelope was, folded. And then over here it was labels, and I just used this little label here with some fabric. Did a little collage. This is a rub-on. This is stamped. And the background is collaged. I obviously skipped that page. Lettering, and was number 5, and I just kind of did this kind of hippie-ish lettering for peace. There's a lot going on in the world, and I think we need some peace. Wildlife, and that was this one. I just picked different pictures and made a little glue book collage kind of to depict wildlife. And then window. I just kind of made a house, and I drew the window. Well, I didn't draw the window. The window is like a little frame, and then I put a window frame up here, and that's Martha Stewart. She was decorating my house there. And then on the other side, this is what you see when you look out the window. This was observe, and I have this guy, and number 8. He's observing all the wildlife in the forest. This was also like a glue book page. Then 9 and 10 were scraps and thread. So I used fabric, scraps, and thread to make a little tag, and I just glued it down. 11 and 12 were stamps and packaging. These little papers were the packaging from like Amazon packages and stuff, and then we have rubber stamps and a fake stamp. And I just put a little envelope on there like that. And number 13 was light, and I used sunflowers to depict light, and I had a little quote from Helen Keller: keep your face to the sunshine and you cannot see the shadows. It's what sunflowers do. And sunflowers do, they just face the light. No matter where you put them, they're going to face east to the morning light. Number 14 was the weather, and I decided to just watercolor a cloudy, rainy day. And then a quote from Winnie the Pooh: when life throws you a rainy day, play in the puddles. Over here was 15, and that was homemade, and this is homemade paper that my daughter and I had made last summer. And so that's my homemade. Over here was petal. And I did another glue book style page with flowers because, flowers have lots of petals. Over here was aged. Wait, aged was 17. Where's 17? Oh, this. I skipped a page and went back, I guess. So I just used, I think it was a girdle ad from a 1950s Women's Day magazine, and I just made like a little card with that. I try to age the paper, and then these stamps, S&H stamps, are definitely aged. So that was aged. And then 18, I free, and I just put some birds flying around and a quote from Jane Eyre. I am no bird, and no net ensnares me. I'm a free human being with an independent will. Then we go back to 19, and that was tag. And so I just created a patchwork collaged tag with papers and some flowers, and then I put some quotes on the back. Start where you are, use what you have, do what you can, by Arthur Ashe. Little deeds of kindness, little words of love, make the earth an Eden like the heaven above. Julia A. Fletcher Carney is who wrote that little poem, and I think there's actually more to it. Number 20 was picture, and I took some pictures of the area in my neighborhood where I walk the dog. It's an abandoned road that used to go back to these storage units, and it goes back as far as this one here, but yeah, it's blocked off on this end. There's a doctor's office up here, and we just go through the doctor's office parking lot to get there. Even in the harshest, most difficult of circumstances, flowers find a way to bloom. And I was trying to point out that flowers were blooming in all the cracks of the asphalt. No matter how chaotic it is, wildflowers will still spring up in the middle of nowhere. And that's a quote by Sheryl Crow. And then the last one, even the most delicate flowers possess strength and resilience. Oh, and then there was a Bible verse on the back. Consider how the wildflowers grow. They don't labor or spin thread yet. I tell you, not even Solomon in all his glory was adorned like one of these. Luke 12:27. So that was picture. And then over here, we have colors. And I tried to make this one as colorful as possible. And then I have some quotes. This is just a patchwork paper tag. Color is a power which directly influences the soul, by Wassily Kandinsky. He was a famous artist, I believe. Life is too short to live in black and white. I am a believer that color affects people's moods. Me too. And there's a reason why we don't see the world in black and white. And I really do love color because I think it's cheerful. Then we have 22 and 24, which was timeless and ephemera. And so I thought that I would use these postcards because postcards are sort of timeless, not quite. But drawn postcards could be timeless. And then I just used the Washington, D.C., the monument. What is it called? I don't even know. But what does it say? The Washington Monument. It's been there a long time, and I think it'll be there for a while still, so I feel like that's timeless. Then over here we have, what was this one? 23, and it was tip in, and I tipped in I tipped in a portrait my daughter made of our family. Some of us, they're not all there. And then I put it on top of this picture, this photograph from 1929. This guy was my father. That's his brother. And there's nobody in between those two. And then these are all his cousins. And I thought it was funny because my father, it was just about 2. It was like the day before, or a few days before his birthday, 2-year birthday. And he's acting silly in the picture, just like all my kids did and all my grandkids do. And now we have 25, which is tea-dyed. I tea-dyed the paper, I tea-dyed the doily, I think I even tea-dyed this paper, the flowers, and I don't know why I put orange lilies represent positive, warm energy. For some reason I put that there. I don't know if that means, I don't remember why I put that up there. Maybe I just wanted a quote or something. Then over here we have 26. It's a 26 and 27. which is shade and poetic. And when I thought of shade, I thought of being in the shade of a beautiful tree, because I have beautiful maple trees in my back that I love to sit under and even look up at. I added part of this poem by Andrew Blakemore. In the shade of the green wood, this bright sunny morn, that's so cool in the shadows, a new day is born. All the birds in the treetops are singing for me sweet songs of the summer, which fill me with glee. And know from its beauty I never shall part, for the green wood does live in my heart. And that is exactly how I feel. Then over here we have 28 and 29, which is contrast and buttons. And I've discovered by researching it that pink and green and red and green also are contrasting colors. And so I picked this green. It's got red strawberries on it. And then I put pink buttons and pink embroidery thread around. I think it was actually, is it embroidery thread? I think it was. And that was for shade and contrast. Over here, 30 is shine, and I just loved how the sun was shining up these clouds. You can't really tell that well in the picture, but it was absolutely gorgeous. And that's my view out my east windows. And then I just thought this looked like the sunshine or even the sun. And then I put some stars for shine, and that was shine. And then over here we have the last one, celebrate. And I thought this paper was great for celebrating. And kind of reminds me of New Year's Eve. So then So then I thought, well, I'll add some booze and a cup and snacks. And that's like a celebrating New Year's Eve party. And that's it for my July Junk Journal, July 2024. I hope you enjoyed this flip through, and I can now retire this, and I can look forward to Junk Journal January. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you again next time. Bye-bye.